So I know what you're thinking. This isn't my grandmother's Doki Doki. It's Doki Doki Blue Skies, a mod for Doki Doki Literature Club that removes the horror aspect of the game while keeping the psychological torment. Plus, it greatly expands upon the world and characters and even adds in a few new ones. Basically, it's the dating sim that could have been. However, you're not supposed to play the mod until after you've played the vanilla game at least once. So if you haven't done that by now, you can get Doki Doki Literature Club for free at ddlc.moe, or you can find it on Steam. And if you want to play the mod for yourself, I highly recommend it. You can find it at blueskiesmod.com. All of the links will be in the description down below. Anyways, thanks for clicking on this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. So when we last left off, we had just done day 1, quote-unquote. We wrote our first poem, we went in, Natsuki and Yuri had their argument. We learned that Sayori is an arsonist, which you can recount, by the way, if you go check out the YouTube channel. We're gonna write our second poem and go into day 2. Lazy is a Sayori word. I think love would be Natsuki. Nope. Clumsy. Excitement. Sweet. Man, when we do the Yuri route, that's gonna be so easy. We're gonna fly through the Yuri route. It's so easy to figure out what's hers and what isn't. Warm. Sunshine. Together. Fun. Clouds. Damn it. Joy. Doki Doki is a Natsuki word. I'm well, thank you. And you? I'm doing great. We're playing Blue Skies. I couldn't possibly be sad when playing Blue Skies, because this game will never be depressing, ever. Smile. There's no way this game could ever get dark. Is that some sarcasm I'd attack? No! Shame. Shame. That's Sayori's arson pass creeping up again. Except she's not shameful, and I know it. I've seen her start many a fire, and I can't say anything about it because, you know, she's my friend, and I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt her. Rain cloud, friends, and puppy is Natsuki. Awesome, done. I almost hit skip instead of save. Oh, I've been a little upset at myself. Just a few days ago, I never would have thought that I'd look forward to an extracurricular so much. But here I am, back for another club meeting and anticipating new antics from everybody. I just realized I didn't do my vocal warm-ups this time. Interesting. The usual scene awaits me as I step into the club room.
Hi, Sepchi!
Hey, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today.
Hehe, I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. It's like you've just never been around, dude. You're never really there for me anymore. What's up with that?
That's you see that bit right there, guys? That's the kind of bit that gets cut out later. Is that so? Well, it's nice to see you so cheery. Anyway, what's new?
Oh, I've got some exciting news! Pull out the full screen. Do. This is your 5 o'clock news of Sayori. Ready for like an hour of this
And what's up?
Did you know that the student store sells that new brand of strawberry milk now? I saw when I passed by on my way here.
I should have known better than to expect actual news from Sayori. Huh, I don't think I've tried that yet. I don't know, strawberry milk is usually too sweet for me.
What? But it goes great with melon bread.
Sayori, you could eat a packet of raw sugar and you'd still say it's not sweet enough.
Hey, that's an exaggeration, Buster. Seriously though, it goes really well with bread. The milk is sweet, but it still has that unique tart strawberry flavor that's eased by the richness of the milk. And when you pair that with fresh bread, the sweetness is spread out even more so that it has just the right amount of flavor.
Wow, when did you become Gordon Ramsay?
Ha! I'm a food expert, so you should trust me on this. What are you? An idiot sandwich!
I mean, given how many snacks you eat every day, I don't doubt that you know your food well.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment, you meanie.
So, I'm a meanie for giving her a compliment?
Anyway, aren't you hungry now? Talking about food always makes me hungry.
Now that you mention it, maybe a little.
Great, let's go to the donut store and buy snacks together then.
Ah. Now I see what she's playing at. I raise an eyebrow and Sayori notices.
Hey, Sepchi, why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like I'm the snack?
Well, Sayori, I have a nagging suspicion that you're only trying to convince me to come because you don't have any money, and you just want me to buy you a snack.
Objection! What? I would never do that.
Objection! Oh, really? Then let's see your purse.
Huh?
Your purse. Let's see it.
Haha,
Sayori laughs awkwardly as she pulls out her purse. She opens with it and dumps its contents onto the desk. 2 small coins fall out.
Take that!
This little ruse might have actually worked had Sayori not pulled it on me numerous times when we were younger. The amount of times she managed to trick me into buying her another ice cream. I guess some things never change.
No fair! How did you know?
Because I'm Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Take that! Ah, now wouldn't you like to know? Let's just call it intuition. In response, she sticks her tongue out at me. Typical. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was eavesdropping. There we go. That's a better take on that. Looking over in her direction, I catch her peeking over the top of a book. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book.
Yuri! Tell Steph J to let me borrow some money!
That's none of my business, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. It's shameful to manipulate people into doing or buying things for you. Whoa, damn. Wow, isn't that a little harsh? I'm only messing around with Sayori after all. Did I just... I didn't mean that. That came out much harsher than I intended. Sorry, I just, well... Yuri blushes in embarrassment, looking away from us while playing with a strand of her hair. I apologize for how I've been acting lately. It looks like she might still be ashamed of how she acted yesterday.
You know, it's okay to be honest sometimes. You shouldn't always keep things that bother you to yourself.
There's no way you could think that after...
You were right, though. I shouldn't trick people into buying me things.
Funny how your 10-year-old self didn't see it that way. Yuri lets out a small laugh, covering her mouth with her hands. Even the way she laughs is so shy and proper. Is this mischievous behavior something you're... Colin should have done his vocal warm-ups. Is this mischievous behavior something Sayori used to display as a child then? Oh yeah! Although back then I fell for it time and time again. You wouldn't believe how much candy Sayori managed to con me out of.
Don't make me have to be so sneaky, Sepchi! Although those candies were so good. I lit them on fire afterwards.
They burn so good.
I'm surprised, Sayori. Coming from you, I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Goddammit, I always lose the Monica voice. And it's so important to me to have the Monica voice, because if I don't have Monica's voice behind the voice mod, it just sounds like me with a weird robot voice. And it bugs me!
What's going on here?
That was such an awful reading of that line. I could do it again.
What's going on here?
Oh, nothing much. Sayori was just up to some mischief.
Oh?
Yeah, she tried to trick me into buying her a snack.
Hey, that's not true! I'm not the imposter! You can't vote me out! If you vote me out, you're throwing!
I'm assuming this isn't the first time.
Well, you'd be right. We all share a little chuckle at that. Well, everyone except Sayori does. Something about her expression here just looks so betrayed. Just like,
how could you sell me out for trying to steal from you? Hey, you guys are being really mean!
okay, we're sorry. But you did bring this upon yourself.
Yeah, I know. But in my defense, I am really hungry.
Well, Natsuki chimes in. If you're really that hungry, you can have this if you want. I love the surprise Sayori. This is like my favorite Sayori expression. Just like, ooh. You could probably make an emote out of this, honestly. Like Sayori Pog. She offers up a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori immediately snatches it out of her hands like the f***ing rat she is.
Thank you!
Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it! Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. Hang on. Wait. I don't have a cookie, but I got this.
So good!
Sayori suddenly claps her hands over her mouth.
I bit my tongue!
Ha! You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie.
Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it?
Jeez! Beggars can't be choosers.
But yours is chocolate!
Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one?
Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me.
Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to... Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri, Monica, and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori to quit taking my stuff?
Sayori, you know you shouldn't do something like that without permission.
Monica scolds Sayori.
I know. I'm sorry, Natsuki. But it was so good.
Hey! Everyone but Natsuki chuckles. These things happen a lot, Monica?
A little bit too much, to be honest. Don't worry, it's all in good fun.
Good fun is teasing each other from time to time, not stealing food.
Oh, calm down, it's no big deal.
Natsuki pouts in his seat. Everyone calms down and quickly returns to their normal activities. Sayori has already managed to finish the entire cookie. Meanwhile, Natsuki gets up and heads for the closet, and Yurei is already lost in her book.
Sefji!
She suddenly comes up to me.
I need to get some stuff from another classroom. Can you come with me?
Stuff? What stuff? What was that apostrophe doing there?
Well, you know how the festival's right around the corner. Monica was gonna make some posters to advertise it. So we'll need to get some crayons and markers and glue sticks, that kind of stuff.
Ah, right. Yeah, I'll come with you.
Yay! We'll be back real soon, Monica!
You seem quite excited about this, Sayori.
Of course! It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms, especially at night when it's really dark and creepy. Isn't that right, Sefji?
Uh-huh. Monica laughs and nods at us.
Okay, just don't forget the poster paper.
I won't! Ready, Sefji?
Uh-huh, let's go. Oh, no wipe. I was expecting a wipe. Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as she hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. I mean, fidget spinners were a fad for a while, I'm just saying. I think we all take interest in simple things every now and then. Everything is like an adventure to her. Hey, Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature.
Monica and I have it all planned out. Don't you worry.
Is that so?
Yep, we're gonna do a poetry performance!
A performance? Of what kind?
Well, everyone is gonna take turns on stage.
Nope, out, already done. Don't want to do it. Nope, not anymore. Stage fright. I will pee all over the stage, and it'll be very embarrassing. I'd rather avoid it. I'm gonna walk on stage, turn around, and just gonna be like, up, and then it's gonna be golden shower. Just like, oh, in my pants, on the floor, on the podium, on my poem, on you guys, just the whole front row, just everybody. Just pee everywhere. This is one of the grossest jokes I've ever made.
Everyone is gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems.
Ah, that sounds, well, not exactly boring, but will people be that interested?
Sefji, you're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems. It's about performing them. Like you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland.
I'm just gonna sit in silence there for a second.
Like that!
Wow, Sayori. I had no idea you had that in you.
Huh? What do you mean?
I've just never heard you talk like that before. No, it's not a bad thing. It was really good. It was just a big contrast from your bubbly self. I'm sure Yuri or Monica would really appreciate it too.
I've been working super hard on that poem, so it's good to know you liked it. I'm excited for the festival.
Not just because we'll get to eat loads of stuff, like Natsuki. Not just because we'll get to eat loads of stuff, like Natsuki said.
Hey, matey, no, not just because of that. Although that is part of it. Hey, Sefji, this classroom here is empty. I think we'll find what we need in here. Let's start our mission. Bob, 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 ba-da-da! Ba-da-da!
I'm sorry, headphone users. I'm looking on Audition right now, and it's just like a wall of green. Strange choice of words for someone going into a classroom to get art supplies. But hey, that's Sayori in a nutshell, living in her own little world. Her childlike enthusiasm is infectious and brings about a special feeling I forgot I had in me. Some kind of innocent sense of wonder where even the most mundane of tasks or quests and walking down the classroom is a magical journey. The two of us enter the classroom. Sayori heads straight to the closet, and I follow.
Let's see what we have in here. Crayons!
Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf.
They're the best brand, too. They're kind of dirty, though.
Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted, we still need to find—
Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color.
Fine. Can you move over so that I can look for the poster paper?
Ah, I dropped one by— Ah!
Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. She falls to the floor and the crayons spill all over her lap.
Ow, 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 ow.
Sayori, are you okay?
My forehead.
Sayori clutches her forehead. What happened? Did you cut it? Is it bruised or—
No, nothing like that. I think I just bumped it.
Jeez, Sayori, you really had me worried for a second there. I can't help but let out a chuckle. This is such a typical thing that happens to Sayori. It's almost like she's got clumsy written across her forehead. Wait a minute. I zoom in here, if I look really close. Oh, it is written on her forehead, like in tiny, tiny, tiny print, like fine print. And if you like dumb bits like that, make sure you follow SefG on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. Which, fittingly enough, is where she's hurt herself.
Hey, why are you laughing, you meanie?
sorry. I'm not laughing at you or anything. It's just... this is so typical of you.
What's that meant to mean?
Nothing. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see your forehead. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grab her by the wrist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hand, Sayori.
But it hurts!
This isn't a compromising position at all. I'll be gentle, I promise. It won't hurt. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side.
Ow!
Sorry. There's a huge red mark in the center of her forehead, right where it says clumsy, ironically enough. A bump is starting to form as well. Don't worry. It's not that bad.
But it really hurts!
Her whimpering triggers a really strong protective instinct I didn't know I had. Hey, I'll get you some ice. It'll keep the swelling down and it should relieve a bit of the pain. Just stay here, okay? I'll be back as soon as I can. Actually, where would I find some ice? Think, SefG, think! I got it. A cold drink should do the trick.
Are you sure? You don't have to. I think I make a great unicorn.
Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. I'm sure you make a great unicorn, but I think I prefer you as a human.
Aw, unicorns are so cool, though.
Anyway, I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? I guess it doesn't really matter because she won't be drinking it. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchase that one. In just a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom where I left Sayori. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box.
At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them.
Here you go. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice.
It's nice and cold.
Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, idiot!
Ah, sorry, forgot.
How hard did you hit your head?
I'm not that hard. Why are there two of you?
Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. Immediately, her laughter subsides, replaced by a gasp of pain.
It stings.
I know. I'm sorry. It'll feel better soon, though, I promise. Looks like you cleaned up most of the crayons, so that's good. I love that he's talking to her like she's a f***ing child.
Hey, SefG, this kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it?
Huh? What do you mean?
You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing on the things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump. And I would start crying really hard. And you would rush over as quick as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it really wasn't your fault at all, you know?
I remember those days. You were always so clumsy. I guess not much has changed.
Hey, I did this deliberately, you know.
I raise an eyebrow. The f do you mean, you crazy woman?
I've always wanted to be a unicorn.
She hit her head way harder than I thought she did. That has to be perhaps the least believable excuse I've heard in a while.
Okay. I guess I've never really been on the graceful side.
I did always feel bad whenever you got hurt when we played together. Looking back, I should have been more mindful of what you could and couldn't do. I guess it's the same here. If I hadn't rushed you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hurt yourself. My mother was right. She'd scold me after you got hurt, always tell me I had to be more careful around you.
SefG, don't feel bad about it. It's my own fault for being so clumsy. Besides, even if I got hurt, those times are still my favorite memories of us. It also made me realize how thoughtful you are.
Huh? I wasn't thoughtful at all. I just got you hurt.
No, that's not what I mean. You're always looking out for me. Even after all these years, you always rush to help me. No matter what the situation, you're always there to reassure me and make me feel safe.
I don't really do this kind of thing all of the time. It's just around you. It feels natural, I guess. I just do it subconsciously. Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. Guess it's what happens when you've been friends for so long.
I don't know if I've told you this before, but I'm really grateful we're friends, SefG. I'll admit, I kind of missed you over the years. We used to hang out a lot.
Man, I'm gonna tear up a little bit, guys. This is really touching.
I was surprised when you approached me the other day. I wasn't really sure what to make of it all at first, but as we got to hang out in the club, share poems, and walk home, I realized that nothing had really changed. Do you think we'll be like this forever, SefG?
As much as I want to say yes, there's no telling how life will be for us during college or even afterwards. Still, I can be positive though. I sure hope so, Sayori. It's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. We haven't really talked in years, then when we do, it's just like nothing's really changed. I think I read somewhere that that's a sign of a friendship that's built to last. So, here's hoping.
I hope so too. I'm so happy!
Sayori has a whimsical expression in her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. Who'd have guessed that such a simple action to get some crayons would have resulted in such a heartfelt moment? Then again, with Sayori, it's impossible to tell.
Anyway, I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know?
Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead either way. Why is my phone ringing? Yes? I have to go fix my mom's Switch controller. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. She's gonna see your forehead either way.
Not if I hide it under my bangs.
Sayori hops to her feet.
Ah!
She clutches her forehead again. Sayori, don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs to try to hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the club room.
Ah, you're back. Good timing. I was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. What the happened to your forehead? And Sayori, your forehead.
I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf.
She has the perfect expression for the way I read that line.
Are you okay, Sayori?
Yeah, I'm fine. Safchi got me a nice cold drink.
Right, okay. Glad you're okay, Sayori. Did you get everything we needed?
Uh-huh, I have it right. Eh?
Sayori frantically glances around herself.
I forgot all of the stuff! No!
Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper, too.
Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Sefchi.
Ah, well, Sayori... I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori.
I made it an adventure!
Yeah, that.
Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Thanks, you two. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems?
Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. I saved, right? Let's go right in.
Sefchi, your poems are seriously amazing. I can't believe you never told me how good a poet you were.
Huh? Sayori, I'm really not that great. You're the only one who likes my poems this much.
Really?
I guess I'll be honest with you. I find it easier to write poems when I'm, thinking about our memories together.
Huh? Really?
It sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? I nervously laugh, noticing the blush that's crept up on Sayori's cheeks. Aww. I don't know, I feel like my life's kinda boring. Like, whatever happens in it is just literally that. Whereas with you, well, whenever I look back on our memories, everything seemed to be such an adventure whenever you were around. Like when we went exploring that forest near our house ages ago. You made it seem like it was an exciting adventure, kinda like we were both archaeologists or something. Oh, the blushing. Whereas if I went there myself, I'd just think I was going for a stroll in the forest. I glance over at Sayori. She has a faraway look on her face, wearing a wistful smile.
Yeah, I remember that. I was convinced there were spooky wood trolls out there! Ah!
That's exactly what I mean. You've got such a vivid imagination, and I guess I can tap into that imagination whenever I'm thinking about you. We have this sort of connection. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And it's still there, even after all these years.
I think I sort of understand what you mean. Can I ask you a favor, Sefchi?
What's up?
Can I, keep this poem? This is, the first time you've written something for me.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I didn't write it for you. But okay, you can keep it. I still don't think my poetry skills are anything special.
I can have it? Yay! Thank you!
Hold on, Sayori. Not everyone has read my poem yet, so I think it'd be unfair to give you my poem right now.
Oh, that's true. I should have thought of the others first.
That's fine, I get that you're just excited. I'll give it to you later, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, I still need to read yours.
Oh, I totally forgot. It's nowhere near as good as yours, though.
I'm sure I'll like it.
Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on the shelf with all of the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle is starlight to make amends. Sometime my friends feel a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go. Like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done. I open up and in come my friends. And they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who weren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something, but all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head.
Wow, Sayori, I didn't expect this at all. Did you really write this?
Of course I did! Remember I said I'd write the best poem ever yesterday? Well, here it is! After all, Monica has taught me a lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently.
So that's what this poem's about? I suppose that much is obvious. Unlike Yuri and Monica's poems, Sayori's are relatively simple to figure out. So, if I've interpreted this correctly, you're basically doing everything you can to keep your friends happy.
Yay, you got it! I really enjoyed writing this one. Just getting your thoughts out on the paper and turning them into a poem, it's like magic!
Well, I think it's amazing. You should be really proud of it.
Thank you, Sefchi. That means a lot. I didn't think it was that good, though.
No, it's great, seriously. I can't help but notice that the latter half of the poem isn't quite as cheery. In fact, it's somewhat alarming. A very dark contrast from the cheeriness I'm used to with Sayori. Although, maybe I'm looking at this a little too much, but the end of the poem is pretty dark? And you said you've been in touch with your feelings recently, so I'm just checking. Is everything okay?
Of course, silly. I forgot to tell you. I really like writing about bittersweet stuff. Stuff that isn't just happy or just sad. A mixture of the two. And this poem shows what I mean. It's just my writing style.
Ah, okay, that makes sense, I guess. Well, either way, I'm glad you're enjoying writing so much. I hope you keep it up. Good to have a hobby.
Of course, and hopefully you'll also stick with it. So I look forward to seeing all the poems you write in the future.
Well, no guarantees there, but just from seeing the passion in Sayori's eyes, it's hard to be pessimistic. Well, not bad, but not good. Honestly, it's just like your first poem. Yeah, I did kind of try to write it like my first one, although I did attempt to make it a little bit better. Well, mission accomplished, I guess. Still, same things as last time. Try to make it more creative, it's just kind of bland as it is. Noted. Oh yeah, I should probably show you mine now. Here. Here, Peter. Oh my god. Natsuki with Patrick Warburton's voice. I am now going to do my best Patrick Warburton impression as I read this poem. Oh dear God, no. I don't get it. I don't get why people will hate on good rhymes. They act like it's dumb and a waste of their time. I don't diss their free verse or deep subject types. Be dark all you want, just keep in your gripes. Oh sure, you can tell me if you just have a problem. Just keep it constructive and things will be awesome. I'd like you to know that our readers will differ. There is no best style, you smug old glue sniffer. My poems may be simple and often straightforward, but charm can be found in such whimsy and order. Not all poems can be as complex as you'd like. If you think otherwise, you can go take a hike. What about kids? Or the elderly too? Some read for fun, I guess unlike you. Let us just go and enjoy what is written. You won't like it all, that much is a given. But give things a chance. You might find something nice. Just open your mind, and that will suffice. So, what do you think? I mean, it's well written at least. I'm not sure how I should confront Natsuki about this, but to say that she still holds a grudge from yesterday would mean understatement. God forbid Yuri see this poem. Well, that's a given. But yeah, you could say that I was inspired. It really felt good to pound out these lines. Poetry's an amazing emotional outlet, you know? Uh-huh. Anyway, I can't wait to show Yuri this poem. Wait, hold on. What? Natsuki. Do you really think that showing her this poem is a good idea. You're really going at her throat with this. Don't you think you should work out your issues with her? Yeah, well, she never tries to see things my way, so why should I? I think that that's the wrong way to go about this. Relationships are a two-way street. Both people have to work to make things right. Why don't you try being the bigger person and just talk to her first? But I already know that she's not gonna try. She's just always so preoccupied with looking complicated and smart. It's clear to me that she doesn't care if anyone can understand her, including me. You can't understand her if you don't even try. She might speak using a more complex vocabulary, and she may have mannerisms that seem strange to you, but from what I've seen of the both of you, she's more similar to you than you might think. Aren't you judging a book by its cover right now? Well, whatever. You can't hold this grudge forever, you know. At least think of Monica and Sayori. Fine! I won't show my poem to Yuri. Are you happy? I won't be happy until you try to talk to her. She's not gonna bite, Natsuki. Ugh. Alright, I get it. I'll try to talk to her sometime. Thanks. You're gonna do the club proud. Shut it! Man, now I have to hide this poem away. I worked really hard on it, you know? You could easily turn that energy away towards more positive things, though, right? I guess so. I'm just frustrated that my poem's message missed the mark this time. You should always try to make something people can take a message away from. Remember that. Anyway, I'm gonna write a good one tomorrow, so just you wait. I'm sorry if I've offended you. Eh? I said that Sayori's writing style wasn't the best, but it seems that you prefer that style to mine. So in a way, I was saying that your writing style is bad as well. Yuri, that's a bit of a leap. I hope you can forgive me. Yuri, it's okay for you to have an opinion. That doesn't make you evil. I should have known this would happen. If I try to prepare my words, I just sound awkward and weird. But if I just try to speak my mind, I come off as unfiltered and people dislike me anyway. So please don't force yourself to be around me. I know this is what Monica wants, but it's clear that you'd be happy if you spent more time around the others. Yuri, please. You don't have to pity me, it's okay. Besides, I have my books with me. They'll never abandon me or leave me alone. They're all I've ever needed anyway. Yumi shows me a plaintive smile before returning around and heading back to her own desk. I really didn't mean to upset her, but no matter what I say, she won't listen to me. She really seems to think I hate her, although that couldn't be further from the truth. I sigh to myself. All I can do is accept that that's how she is. If she actually wants to be alone, I'll have to respect that request and leave her be. Weird, but okay. Bouquet!
Hi again, Sefchi. I'm trusting that the club's been doing you well.
Same answer as yesterday.
That's nice to hear. So, how's the writing going?
Alright, I guess.
Just alright, hmm?
No, I guess I should say that it's revolutionized my world and brought color into my previously lifeless, life. Well, I say that, but the club, if not the poetry, really has made my days more interesting.
Okay. Can't with the sarcasm, mister. At least you're not hating it though, right?
Nah, it's been an interesting experience at least. Gives me a new hobby to do.
I'm happy that you're applying yourself at least. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece.
I wouldn't count on that.
You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today?
Sure, here you go. I gift my poem to Monica. I'm guessing she just silently gave me hers.
Pressurized. I float there, in vast hollow emptiness. Large but small, grandiose and overwhelming, yet a dust mote. Drifting, meandering, carried along in endless void. But then I realize, my eyes open, bloodshot, my mouth opens, gasping for breath in this crushing, suppressing, restraining, boundless, everlasting, suffocating vacuum of torment. Atmosphere, Pascal, Tor, screaming with no mouth, stretching, restraining, and unrelenting, clawing with no nails, disintegrating in a suffocating poem of absence.
It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Really, freeform, too, if that's what you call it.
I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it.
No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. The other girls don't do this stuff nearly as much as you, at least.
Yeah, you could say that they're a bit more traditional when it comes to their structure. But I kind of like playing with my space in the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. I just remember the thing.
I just remembered that I came up with a phrase to get back into Monica, and I forgot about it. Okay, everyone!
Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. That's where the voice is. I f***ing found it. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. It fragments everything and leaves a dissonant tone with the reader.
I see. I guess that there's a lot of things you can do with poetry.
Definitely. Poetry is very much an art form. You're meant to craft poems using never-before-seen combinations of words to interpret the world around you.
You really love poetry, huh? Maybe you should write a poem about poetry someday.
That's not a bad idea.
Anyway, it's still hard for me to tell what your poem's about.
Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So, putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? Now, we've all had to experience that at this point with poetry discussions and all, but it can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. If you find other people who enjoy writing though, then sharing becomes a lot easier, because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving.
Yeah, it definitely is more helpful getting real criticism and feedback rather than just empty words. I guess I've really hit the mother lode with the literature club.
That's my advice for today! Thanks for listening. Okay, everyone! We're all done reading each other's poems, right?
Actually, Natsuki and I haven't shared yet. Uh-oh. I can feel a storm coming on. Yuri hesitantly approaches Natsuki, who isn't meeting her eyes. And considering Natsuki's poem for today, it's no wonder that she doesn't want to share with Yuri. Judging by Monica and Sayori's anxious expressions, they seem to be thinking along the same lines as I am. And yet, Yuri is still smiling, completely oblivious. I can practically see Natsuki sweating pinballs. Meanwhile, Yuri appears to be blissfully unaware of the situation. That is how I described it, isn't it? I'd convinced Natsuki to reconcile with Yuri, but if she sees Natsuki's poem, well, it's all over. So, Natsuki, if I may... I just remember how this conversation goes. How about we do this tomorrow instead? I'm not, feeling well. It's my time of the month! Oh, I love this game. I can practically see Monica internally facepalming. Natsuki must have forgotten that the club isn't all girls anymore. Is that so? I'm sorry, you must feel absolutely terrible if you can't even share your poem today. You don't need to apologize, it's not your fault. I can definitely share tomorrow. Well, even if you aren't well enough to share your own poem, would you like to see mine? I, wrote it thinking of our argument the other day. I suppose that I wanted to show you that I'm more open-minded than I may have appeared, as a way of repenting. I know it's not much, but hopefully this can contribute to a reconciliation between us. Although we may have our disagreements, I would like to consider you a friend, and friends forgive each other. I'm sorry if that's presumptuous of me to say. No, it's not presumptuous of you to say that. Because I'd like to consider you a friend too. So you can hand over that poem then? With a shy smile, Yuri hands the sheets of paper in her hands over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads the poem, her eyes widen. You're writing using rhyme and stuff? Like me? Bro. I don't know why, but that's just really funny to me. Natsuki's like, bro, that's like really cool, man. Bro. Oh, I laughed too hard, I'm seeing sparkles. You could say that you convinced me to practice adding more lyricism to my poetry. Natsuki looks like she's speechless for once. Thanks, Yuri, it's awesome. There's really no need to thank me. Well, I'm really glad that I got to know you. And I'll definitely have something that'll knock your socks off tomorrow. Then I'll be looking forward to that. I do hope that you feel better tomorrow as well, so that you could share your work with me then. Yeah, of course. That was a crisis and a half avoided. I'm really glad that Natsuki and Yuri worked things out, and it seems that Monica and Sayori feel the same way.
It's good to see everyone getting along. Now that we are done sharing, though, I have something to discuss with you all. There's a great opportunity for expanding the club that's coming up.
Is this about the festival?
You could say that.
Do we really have to do something? It's only a few days, so it's not like we'll be able to come up with anything good. Yes, that's something I'm concerned about as well. With such little time left to prepare, I doubt we'll be able to put any... I love the thought of Yuri saying swears. God damn it. With such little time left to prepare, I doubt we'll be able to put together anything good enough to attract new members. Yeah, we'll just end up embarrassing ourselves.
Oh, don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Nothing more than a few decorations. I can design some pamphlets to hand out at the event, and Sayori made posters to put up around the school.
Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to put on a poetry performance.
A what? Monica?
Everyone's going to choose one poem to recite aloud. It doesn't have to be written by you, as long as you put your heart into the recitation. Recitation? Recitation. How do you pronounce that word? Although, of course, it'd be great if you could show off your own work. And the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite their poems too.
Yeah, I put a thing on the posters that says, bring your own poems. It's gonna be so cool.
Sayori pulls a poster out of her bag and holds it up for us to see. It's like macaroni art smeared and... Are you kidding me, Monica? Don't tell me you started putting those posters up already.
Well, I did. Do you really think that it's that bad of an idea?
Well, you didn't even ask us before you started advertising. We never agreed to stand up in front of a bunch of random people and perform our poems. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear.
Guys.
Yes, let's please calm down and take a moment to think about it. I understand that you two haven't had much experience sharing your poems out loud. In fact, we all haven't done that much. But I still think we should try our best. Look around.
Monica motions to all of us.
We're all here because we have passion for literature in this club. Don't you want to share that passion with other people to inspire them to pursue their inner writer?
Yeah! It's all about exploring yourself and trying new things, all while having fun.
Monica and I nod our heads in agreement. Natsuki and Yuri, on the other hand, remain silent. Guess that means it's my turn to say something. I mean, I don't think it's that much to ask. As Monica said, we're all here because we care about the club and we want to see it flourish. And if all that means is a 2-minute poetry performance, then I think we can manage. Sayori and Monica's faces light up as I finish speaking. Natsuki looks at me like she wants to stab me in the throat. Hey, it isn't like we don't care about the club. It's just... do we really have to perform? You know how hard it is to get new members. It's because people are just narrow-minded jerks. They don't even give literature a chance. Who is to say this festival will be any different? I'm inclined to agree with Natsuki. I'm sorry, Monica. I know how much you want to do this, but I just can't imagine performing in front of a crowd of strangers. Well, at least Yuri and Natsuki have proven that they can agree on something. Monica sighs, her eyes closed as she rubs her temples.
Look, guys, I know you're anxious. I understand that, I really do. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit nervous myself. After all, it's my club, so people are going to judge me the most if our performance doesn't go well. Natsuki, if it makes you feel any better, a few of my friends will be coming along. They're lovely people, they won't judge you for your tastes. I've known them for a few years, trust me.
Natsuki huffs, turning away. She doesn't look particularly convinced.
And Yuri, I know it's a scary thought, but I have thought of a way to ease you into it. Why don't we start by practicing our poems to each other in the club?
No way! No. Monica! This is too sudden.
Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers?
But, Monica, there's just gotta be something else we can do. Yuri nods vigorously at Natsuki's words, anxiety written all over her face. I feel her.
But guys!
No, Sayori, it's okay. If you guys really think we can do better than a poetry performance, then I'll gladly go along with the alternative. So, any ideas?
An awkward silence fills the room. We all glance at each other anxiously before Sayori finally speaks up.
Oh, we could...
Sayori stops and thinks to herself for a moment.
Wait, no, never mind. That wouldn't work.
Once again, the room falls silent.
Well then, I guess we can't come up with something different after all.
Monica laughs, attempting to ease the tension in the room.
I know you guys might not be the most on board with this idea, but I think it's our best option. Please, guys, please.
Can you stop pressuring us? I'm honestly surprised Natsuki's putting up such resistance. I knew she was a little hot-headed, but even still.
I'm not pressuring you, Natsuki.
Both of them have raised their voice. Yuri looks a little startled, and Sayori looks anxious to intervene. Sayori crying is like the worst mood in the world. It's like hitting a puppy. You just don't do it. You don't make Sayori cry.
Guys, please, there's no need to get angry. Can we just discuss this normally?
Monica reflects on Sayori's words, looking a little ashamed of her outburst.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to raise my voice. It's just... this festival is important to me, that's all. Ever since I created this club, I've always wanted to show other people. Natsuki, Yuri, I imagine you were both a little apprehensive when Sefchi joined, right? After all, he was an unfamiliar face.
She smiles warmly at me.
But look, he's integrating really well. He's made the effort to get to know us and our individual writing styles.
She turns to Yuri.
And Yuri, remember the start when he asked you for a book recommendation?
Yuri nods, and Monica shoots her a knowing smile.
Must have been lovely, being able to share a book you're so passionate about with a new person, right?
Yes, it was enjoyable discussing with you, FG. Yeah, likewise. It isn't something I'd normally read, so without you, it would have gone unnoticed.
See, guys? Maybe we'll find more people who are just as into horror as Yuri. More like-minded people. Now come on, tell me that isn't an appealing idea.
Yes, of course, but really my biggest issue is with the actual performance aspect of the festival.
Well, like I said, I know it's a scary thought, performing in front of a bunch of strangers. But trust me when I say I have full faith in you, in all of you. Your poems are amazing, guys. I just know people will love them. It's almost criminal not to show them off. So, what do you guys think? For me? For us?
Fine. I still don't think this is a good idea, but fine, I'll do it. Just stop guilt-tripping us.
Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. And you, Yuri?
Yuri nervously glances at each of our expected faces. But Monica, what if people start being inconsiderate and disturb us or laugh? I'm not surprised Yuri's worried about this.
Oh, don't you worry. If anyone steps out of line, I'll put a swift stop to that.
She has a stern glint in her eye, and I have to repress a shiver. I'm glad she's with us. Yuri looks somewhat relieved, but it's clear she's still worried. She swallows and nods. I suppose I don't really have a choice, do I? I shake my head. Okay, I'll do it.
Yay, that's everyone! We've forced everyone into reading their poems! Yeah! You're the best, Yuri!
This club is seriously going to be the death of me.
I know you'll do great, Yuri, just trust me. But anyway, let's move back onto the main event. While we have the time, I want each of you to choose a poem verse to practice reciting in front of each other.
Yuri and Natsuki exchange uneasy glances, but don't say anything.
Don't worry, I'll go first so everyone feels a little more comfortable.
Can I go next?
Of course. Now let's see.
Monica flips through her notebook searching for a specific poem.
Ah, here we are. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly.
Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. Her eyes move across the page and sync with her lips. Every word has the perfect amount of emotion put behind it, making the poem almost come to life. Her inflection is extraordinary. I'm impressed. And judging by a quick glance around me, so is everyone else. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Even Natsuki's once sour attitude is replaced by awe. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. How the do you pronounce this word? Recitation. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles.
That was so good, Monica.
I'm just taking this in.
Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori?
Yep.
Sayori jumps up from her chair and takes Monica's place at the front of the room.
This poem is called, how did you do it so easily, Monica? I don't think I can do this! I'm freaking out of it!
Well, try to imagine you're alone like you're reciting... like you're reciting it to yourself. Try to imagine you're alone like you're reciting it to yourself. It's your poem, so it'll come out best that way.
Oh, I think I get it.
Sayori nods to herself, very anime-like. Ugh, why?
Anyway, this poem's called My Meadow.
Sayori begins reciting her poem. It seems as if her soft voice is a perfect match. As for the poem itself, it has a similar tone when compared to her other ones. It's peaceful yet somber at the same time. Bittersweet, you could call it. Hearing the poem in Sayori's voice almost gives it an entirely new meaning. I think this is what Sayori means when she says she likes my poems. It's like seeing a whole new side of someone you thought you knew completely. Sayori finishes and we all applaud.
I did it!
Yep, good job. Good job. I couldn't have read that line any worse than that.
Sayori beams as she walks back to her seat.
So, who'd like to go next?
Natsuki, Yuri, and I all look at each other nervously. I open my mouth, but Yuri beats me to the punch. I'll go.
Nice. Thanks for showing initiative, Yuri.
Yes. Yuri rushes over to the podium, clutching a sheet of paper in her hands. This poem is called... Yuri freezes as she looks up at us.
You can do it, Yuri!
It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri begins to recite her poem. Her voice is shaky at first, but the more she reads, the more confident she becomes. It's similar to what happens when she gets absorbed in her books. The shy and apprehensive Yuri I'm used to is replaced by a fierce and confident woman. The poem itself is like a maze in its structure, with twists and turns in every line. But Yuri is unfazed and enunciates each word with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. Monica's the first to start applauding. Sheepishly, I follow along, and soon the club room is filled with the sound of applause. Yuri ducks her head in embarrassment, a shy smile creeping over her face.
Yuri, that was really good. Like I said, you don't have anything to worry about. Thank you for sharing.
thank you. Guess Sayori's done for the day.
So, who'd like to go next? Natsuki?
Why should I go before Sefchi? It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Sefchi lower everyone's standards before I go.
Natsuki!
Monica hastens to chastise her, shooting me a sympathizing look.
That was kind of rude, don't you think? You should apologize to Sefchi.
Natsuki's face turns red as the girls all turn to look at her. I decide to spare Natsuki from the embarrassment. Hey, it's really no big deal. I'll end up going at some point anyway. Might as well do it now. Thing is, I don't have much of a selection to choose from. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I take a deep breath. In my head, I repeat to myself the advice Monica gave to Sayori.
Try to imagine you're alone. You're saying it to yourself.
Alone. My house is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of being alone. The scene rapidly develops in my head, like I'm recalling a recent memory. I'm sitting alone at my desk. The dim lights hanging from the ceiling gives a warmth to the room. In front of me is the poem I had just finished. The ink from my pen still fresh in the page. I pick up the notebook and begin reciting it out loud. While I'm not the most confident in it, I still try and put energy into it. I can almost hear my voice echoing off my bedroom walls. As I finish, the sound of applause pulls me out of my daydream. I'm back in the club room, standing at the podium while the girls politely applaud my performance.
That was good, Sefchi.
I guess?
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. I don't think it's your writing abilities, but rather your lack of confidence that weighs you down. That's something that'll improve over time, though, so don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki.
Yeah. I'm going. As she says this, Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... It's called... Stop looking at me!
But you're presenting.
You don't have to stare straight into my soul, though. She takes a moment to compose herself. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Everybody, jump! Natsuki takes a breath. While her voice is unenthusiastic, the poem has a surprising amount of energy to it. The rhymes tie into each other seamlessly, creating a flow that moves the poem along at a brisk pace. The words seem to bounce up and down with the rhythm, seemingly making the poem come to life. It's Natsuki's signature style, and it works exceptionally well when read out loud. She quickly finishes and huffs as she makes her way back to her seat while we applaud her.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
She stares at her poem blankly for a second before replying. Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again.
Well, that's what we're gonna be doing at the festival, so... Do you at least feel confident enough to do it in front of a crowd?
I guess. Not like there's any other choice. I guess it'll be easier doing it in front of other people. I can just put on whatever face I want with strangers. I don't care about what they think of me. But when it's just my friends, it's just... embarrassing. She's just like 1,000-yard stare, just like warplanes, just like crashing and shit. It's just embarrassing. But I still hate the idea that we have to perform. Sorry, she muttered that last sentence under her breath, apparently. She mutters that last sentence under her breath. The others probably didn't even hear it. I knew Natsuki was stubborn, but this is a whole other level. However, it does look like she's going along with the idea of performing for the festival. Well, at least for now, since she's basically outvoted and can't come up with another idea anyway.
Really? That's a surprise. For me, it's the other way around. Having all those people looking at you, judging you. I don't like to think about it.
I can relate to that. Yuri murmurs quietly. The thought of so many eyes observing your every move all at once. She trails off, shaking her head. Well, that's just how it is, so... Natsuki sighs in frustration.
Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. Speaking of which, I want to thank all of you for performing. It might be difficult, but now that we have a general idea of what it'll be like, we'll be able to prepare ourselves. Make sure you pick out a poem and show it to me by tomorrow, okay? I'll need to know so I can make the pamphlets over the weekend.
I should probably find a different poem to recite. I prefer it if we use our own poetry, but I'm probably going to pick a poem from a poet I like or something.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable, Sefchi. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting all this effort into the club.
Low expectations, huh?
More like any effort put in makes me happy in general.
Monica smiles at me, and then tends to smile at everyone else.
That goes for everyone here. Thanks for going along with these last-minute plans. Anyway, I think that about does it for today. Let's still try and write poems for tomorrow, okay? I know the festival's coming up, but it's been working out nicely the past few days, and I'd like it to continue. Tomorrow we'll finalize who's doing what for the festival, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Remember, we have till Monday.
It'll be so much fun. I can't wait.
We all stand up, packing away our things. However, Monica's voice stops us.
Oh, and guys,
She pauses, twirling a strand of hair in her hand.
This club truly does mean so much to me, and I really appreciate what you're willing to do for it. You guys are the best.
In typical fashion, Natsuki just rolls her eyes. Yuri smiles timidly while Sayori wears a hearty smile. Let's just get it over with. We don't regret this. That's okay, Monica. Nothing to thank us for. We really appreciate what you've made for us. I can't help but catch Yuri muttering under her breath after she says this. I can do 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 this.
Yeah, I love it
I
here!
can do this.
Welcome to spread this cozy little place to other
I can
people!
do this. I can do this. I can. Yeah, it's all good, Monica. All right. I stand up and grab my. I forgot to read with the narrator voice. Let's go back. I stand up and grab my bag. Well, I'm certainly not as enthusiastic as Monaco is here about the festival. Well, I'm certainly not as enthusiastic as Monaco is here about the festival. If I can pull that little daydream stunt again, I think I'll be alright. It's for the sake of the club. Not to mention impressing the girls. Once I'm fully packed up, I walk over to Sayori. Ready to go?
Yep.
Jeez, don't you ever get tired of always walking home with Sefji, Sayori? Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Oh, don't mind her. You guys are more adorable than anything.
Alright, alright. I need to make such a big deal about it. It must be a little nice, though. Yeah, I guess. Ah, jeez. Let's just go already, Sayori.
Okay.
The two of us begin to walk home. A lot has changed in the past few days. Lost in thoughts, I didn't even notice how quiet Sayori's being until we're almost back home. There's a lot going on in the club now, eh? I bet you're thinking about all your new vice president duties that you'll have to deal with when the club grows bigger.
Yeah.
Anything specific on your mind?
Not really. Sorry, did you want to talk?
I mean, we don't have to if you were thinking about stuff.
No, it's nice talking to you. I was thinking about something from earlier. It's nice that we, never mind, it's nothing.
You're sounding a little like Yuri right now.
Oh, yeah, haha. Well, I guess I just have a question for you, Sefji.
What's up? Sayori clears her throat before speaking.
So, let's just say that one day, Yuri asked to walk home with you.
Huh?
What would you do?
What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here.
Hey.
Well, I would still walk home with Sayori. Sayori, I'd walk with you, of course. Sayori pauses for a moment. She glances at me from the side before turning away.
But she's so beautiful and smart.
Jeez.
Why me?
Her reply really surprises me, and I'm not sure how to answer what she wants to hear. I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you.
You're so silly, Sefji.
She gives me a pained smile.
You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it so.
Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes.
Sorry.
Besides, like I said, I've enjoyed catching up with you again. Why would I just change that for another girl? Walking home with you and talking about just anything, it's a great throwback. She doesn't seem as happy as I'd have imagined. I mean, both our childhoods were presents. Both our childhoods were pleasant. Strange. The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about. But I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Sayori and I part ways without saying another word. I reach my house and open the door. I'm home. No response. I'm alone, as usual. I mumble that part to myself. Talking to myself as if I'm the protagonist of a manga or a game must be going stir crazy. Mom is still out on her business trip. She's never home anymore. I miss her. But I don't blame her for anything. It's hard enough providing for yourself, let alone a kid. Since I'm alone, I decide to make an instant meal for dinner. Digging through my cabinets, I find some old soup cups. Miso soup sounds good. I unwrap the packaging, pour in some water, and place the meal in the microwave. While it cooks, my mind wanders back to my performance earlier. That daydream was so vivid, so realistic. Can I really pull off that performance again, but this time in front of a crowd? It wasn't even that great in the first place. Just doing it in front of the girls was nerve-wracking. Guess I'm not really used to being around people again. Maybe that's it. Thinking about it, I guess I've kind of been subconsciously isolating myself from people ever since the divorce. Before it even in some cases. I wonder when I started shunning myself. Maybe that's part of why Sayori and I drifted apart over the past few years. It wasn't intentional or anything, it just happened. At least, I don't think it was intentional. But I'm glad I got to reconnect with her in the literature club. It's given me something to do, something to look forward to that isn't anime or video games. Talking with the girls has made me feel more appreciated. It's a nice feeling. Something that's been missing from me ever since the divorce. Maybe that's why Sayori likes walking home with me. It makes her feel appreciated. Sayori. The more I think about it, the more concerned for her I get. She said some pretty weird stuff. But I guess people just have their off days. Maybe she's just changed a little bit over the years? Pretty normal, right? I'd like to think I'd be able to tell if something was up with her. Although, given our recent distance, I'm not so sure. Sure, we've started talking again, but there's a lot of lost time. Maybe that'll change and we'll go back to how we used to. Beep! I hope. Yay. And with that, I think that is where we will end for today.